Trey Wingo says that
Oh.
we should be concerned about CJ Stroud not throwing in Texas OTAs, man. Check this out.
So Texans quarterback CJ Stroud is not throwing at OTAs because of shoulder soreness. And the team says they're not concerned. It's just general soreness. And they think everything should be fine. Don't believe that. There's a concern. He hasn't played a football game since January. It is now June, and he has shoulder soreness. If you have shoulder soreness at OTAs and you haven't played in months, no matter what the team says, that's a concern. That's the real situation.
Go ahead, Smitty. Go ahead. I don't.
Now I'm about to ask you. You're the quarterback guru. I mean, Trey Wingo is a respected sports writer. He's been, been in the space since the '90s. So, but at the end of the day, he's just giving his opinion, like we all do. You have a tweet right here that I didn't even see until just now, and you responded and said, it's from throwing daily since January, which most QBs do to get better, and he's now sore from that since he's not in a QB competition anymore, with some emojis. That's your best response I've probably ever seen on Twitter, actually. Like, in terms of it was just like a legit answer. It was no disrespect. It wasn't no calling nobody no bitch or soft or nothing. It's just a good answer. Like, this is let's save this moment as a teaching lesson and learning lesson moving forward. There are cases where you should clap back and do all that, but more times than not, this should be the energy right here. This actually elevates you and your brand, in my opinion. It shows that it shows the side that you know the game, played it, which I know that, but other people don't always read that, because when your response is always motherfucker, then it spews out a different side that people don't get to see. When you come with this energy, to me, it elevates your brand. But go ahead.
So break down my tweet.
You're saying, listen, I play quarterback, I coach quarterback, and when you're the for sure starter for an organization or a team, and it's the offseason, and you're trying to improve some of your mechanics and some of the flaws in which you had in the prior season, knowing that CJ Stroud has somewhat of a sophomore slump, you're going to throw the ball early and often to change some of those habits, because those habits take time to break. And when you're throwing the ball consistently week to week, day to day, soreness is something that's going to happen. And since it's just OTAs, this is the time where you can take a day off if need be. He's still there. He's still working out. He's still with the team, still watching film. But he's going to take a day off to rest that shoulder. Doesn't mean he's injured. Doesn't mean he needs surgery. It's not that big of a deal. It's very much what you're saying.
I like Trey Wingo. I respect for him. Yeah, I like Trey Wingo. Here, the issue is I don't know where he's coming out of, getting this information, and why he said that to me was a shocker. I don't know why he would stand on business like he knows. Well, and it's maybe. He acted like he didn't like CJ Stroud from the end of January when the season ended, after they won and they beat the Chargers and they go and lose the second round game. He acts like they don't work out ever again until OTAs 6 months later. No, homie, quarterbacks get better every day. He's been working on footwork, weight room, arm strength. He's been working on everything. So now that OTAs are here and he's not in a competition, meaning he doesn't need to show anyone who he is, guess what? OTAs that are non-mandatory, especially, he's out there learning, being around the new offensive coordinator, obviously. And there's another part of this thing, too. When you got a new OC, and the new OC knows what he's inherited, which is CJ Stroud, big-time arm, probably one of the more accurate guys in the league, one of the best, prettiest ball throwers in the league. You're more mental at this point instead of physical. I don't need to see you throw a fucking hitch ball 30 times in 7-on-7. I need to see, are you grasping the new offense? Remember, they got rid of Slowick and added a new offensive coordinator, former Ram. So the offense is going to be a lot more probably technical, I would assume. More boot nakeds, more adjustments at the line of scrimmage, more audibles, more flipping the protections, more mic IDs. CJ's learning mentally a lot more, so he doesn't need to be out there throwing right now. If there was a major concern, I think it would have been addressed by now, whether it was through draft, through free agency, or you'd be hearing Aaron Rodgers news. Let's keep it funky. Because there's no way that the Texans, not having CJ, aren't going to a veteran right now and looking at Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers if there was something serious. You would have heard that by now. There's obviously I don't believe there's smoke and fire in this case. So I think it's a matter of he'd been working out all year long, and that's what happens. And quarterbacks take some time off to let their arms rest. It is what it is. Remember, people don't realize this is not the norm. This is not biomechanically the way to throw anything. That's not. Your arm don't work that way. If you go look up and do some research, arms work to throw naturally. It's right here. That is the natural way to throw something. Not this way. This way actually, little by little, deteriorates a lot in your cup, in your all the way down into your lat. All this is affected by throwing this way for many, many, many years. This way is the natural throwing position. That's why softball, underhand, fast pitch softball players can throw a fucking ball 100 miles an hour and play for 30 years. That's why underhand, fast pitch, there's 55-year-old men playing it because their arms can withstand this for life because this is the natural way to throw something. So quarterbacks need that time off. That's why you see a lot of quarterbacks that a lot of people don't understand. The Kurt Warners, Trent Greens, Mark Bulgers, guys that played under Mike Martz. And then you see the Dan Marinos and the John Elways and the Brett Favres. It's not like I'm only naming one or two guys. I can keep going, by the way, are 3-quarter release guys. So go look at the history of your biggest, best, big-time quick release throwers of the football, and they're all 3-quarter. They're not this elongated, long out guy like Jared Goff and these guys. They're quick, boom, because their arm is not being all the way overexerted. It's being thrown here, which is closer to what?
The other hand.
So now their arms last longer. So if you look at the history of guys, look at Phillip Rivers, look at all the guys that played, Drew Brees, look at the guys that played 15, 20 years at quarterback, they're 3-quarter release guys. And the elongated motion guys don't last very long. I'm just telling you. Look at the guys. Just go look at them. And that's another reason Lamar Jackson, I think, will play until the late into his 40s. Because Lamar Jackson, obviously, he won't use his feet as much as he gets older, and we've seen him lately getting caught down like he wouldn't have got caught 4 years ago. Now he's getting caught a little more on the 90-yard runs. Let's just say, even though he's still getting 50s, he can play longer because this release he has is a quick bow, get it out, and his arm strength is still strong enough. So those guys can play a long time. Josh Allen, another 3-quarter guy. Mahomes. I'm just telling you. Anyway, I'm macro with the quarterback.
I love this. This is what we love right here.
Mechanics, the 3-quarter release thing is a big issue that no one wants to discuss. And it actually, if you can do it and get away with it and be tall enough, stature-wise, like God gifted you to be 6'5", 6'4", it helps. Drew Bledsoe's of the world, 3-quarter guy. It helps because if you notice, when you're young, and I know you're topped out at 6 foot, 6'1", I got to teach you to be more elongated to get the ball over the line of scrimmage and the 6'5", 6'8" lineman. If you're 6'4", 6'5", Drew Bledsoe's and these guys that had big-time arms, they could be 3-quarters because they're 6'5". So there's a huge part of that, too, that a lot of folks don't understand that never played it or coached it. So there's a lot of things to it, but I don't believe this. CJ's a elongated guy. He's not here. So he can make those throws, but CJ's more of a elongated thrower. So
what do y'all teach as a coach? So like you teach what CJ does, all right, as a coach. Like as far as like when you're teaching technique and all, like
what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean as he does? Like mechanically throwing?
Mechanically, like you guys don't necessarily teach like the 3-quarter style.
We see if you're really a coach,
yeah,
and you really don't want to change a guy, and you're not this fucking these street agent trainers, and you're really a QB guy that understands that you don't have enough time in between seasons, off seasons to change the cat's mechanic. That's why Lamar probably hasn't been fucked with too much, and that's why you haven't seen him. Jalen Hurts, who I say went from here to here in 1 year after his rookie year into his second year. He mechanically grew better, more and got better mechanically than any other guy in the NFL. That's my opinion. I've been saying that for many years. And I know Jalen, we're going to have a guy on our show this coming up week in Jordan Palmer, who's one of the best QB coaches out here. And Jordan will tell you, like, and we'll have this discussion with Jordan, and he has CJ Stroud, by the way, is one of his guys. He'll tell you, but you can't break down and start over if you're already in the NFL in off season. You just don't. There's not enough. You're going to hurt the cat more than help him. When you're already here and here, I can tweak that and change it to where Jalen Hurts did. Lamar is here and loose balled athlete. It's hard to change. You can change things mentally with them, but physically, I don't know. I think Lamar was too far gone already. So now it's like, all right, Lamar, let's figure some things out that we can make you better in the system, whether than it is. Hurts was already not too far away. I can tweak a few things. I could strap his elbow, his platform. I could keep his platform here instead of dropping his platform, which lowers your left shoulder. Now, guess what happens when you lower your left shoulder? The balls go high. Or guess what? If I'm too high here, ball goes high because my elbow's low. Or if I get it down here, now I can get the ball down and drive the football with my lead. We call it lead shoulder down. So I'm going to put my face mask on the lead shoulder. I'm going to keep it down, and I'm going to drive the ball. Whether it gets up here, balls sail on people. Because now, if it is that, and I can't change that in Lamar, guess what I got to do? I got to fix his platform, which is his throwing elbow. And now, if this is high, I can't be low here because the ball's going to come high. I got to get this arm up if I am high. So I'm high, but I got to get this throwing arm up. So now I can still drive the football. So, like, there's a lot of little things that I don't believe a lot of folks know about. And that's why QB play is getting worse and worse and worse. So I don't believe we understand that part of it. So